Pratt. At forward, number 90, Randy Harris. In midfield, number 2, Brendan Swan. In midfield, number 10, Josh Lord. In midfield, number 19, Alex Depperschmidt. In midfield, number 26, Matthew Sklenani. On defense, number 3, Dan O'Callahan. On defense, number 6, Omar Najjar. On defense, number 37, Jordan Akins. And starting in goal, the Ambassadors FC Ohio, number 1, Gavin Ernst. Then coach of the Ambassadors is Ryan Dean. The assistant coaches Andy Strait and Aryan Halaji. The goalkeeping coaches Isaiah Slava and Ben Kovacic.
Oh, sure.
And now the starting lineup for your Flower City Union. And forward, number 10, Dylan Rice. And forward, number 20, Rodrigo Almeida. And midfield, number 7, Miles Palmer. And midfield, number 11, Nick Rippey. And midfield, number 12, Nate Basucci. And midfield, number 13, Xavier Ellis. And midfield, number 20, Gavin Egan. On defense, number 3, Ryan Fitzgerald. On defense, number 16, Ryan Brown. On defense, number 98, Kyle Nelson. And starting goal here, Flower City Union, number 0, Christian Burkhart. And coach here, Flower City Union is Jordan Sullivan. The assistant coaches, Antonio Gamba and Ibrahim Kapinzik. The goalkeepers coach is Marcelo Herrera. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to ask you all to please rise. Kindly remove your hats and face the flag to the left of the scoreboard as we honor American and our brave men and women serving the United States military both across the country and around the world with the playing of our national anthem.
It is a beautiful evening for the beautiful game and fans with a line that I have perhaps used a little often. The only thing better than soccer is playoff soccer. The only thing better in the first round is the second round. Here we are. This is the Great Lakes Conference Finals. Flower City Union hosting Ambassadors FC Ohio. I am Bill Smith, coming to you from the press box here, the outdoor, the terrace press box. Is that maybe the term I'll throw on here? At the Rochester Community Sports Complex in beautiful downtown Rochester. The sun is shining, blue skies. It is scorching hot down on the field. There's going to be some accommodations made for that I'll get into later. I was down there a little while ago talking to both coaching staffs. talking to a few players. It's hot down there. It is sweaty. You're going to see some impact perhaps from that as we move on here. But we've got two teams. There are some there are stories you can pull from numbers. There's stories you can pull from results. There's only so much you can see from data and from the actual just scores of games. But these are the two teams that were the top seeds in the Great Lakes Conference. You got the number 1 seed, Flower City Union, 8-1-1 on the season. 1 draw and 1 loss in there. Ambassadors FC, 7-2-1. They've got a pair of losses and a draw in there. Ambassadors' only 2 losses come to Flower City back on May the 24th, and was a really, really, really tight matchup. Flower City wins that one on a second-half goal by Dylan Rice. But then Ambassadors' only other loss is to Erie, who took on Flower City just the other night in the first round of the playoffs. On the Flower City side, you've got Flower City with 1 blemish on the season, 1 loss. That was to their crosstown rival RNYFC, a 2-1 loss back in June. There's who Ambassadors took out the other night in the playoffs. So you saw the two teams that came in and blemished the 2 records of the top 2 seeds make the playoffs and then get sent back home by the other 2 teams. So we have, again, on paper, games aren't played on paper, but your 2 top seeds here heading in through this playoff. So the semifinals are done. We are on to the finals. Now, this is the conference finals. There is a regional final that will come your way next Saturday that we will get into details of that down the road. Now, today, Flower City, off that 3-1 victory over Erie. Now, Flower City needed the 97th minute, and those of you out there know this sport, you might say, wait a minute, that's pretty late. It was overtime, extra time, as they say in the biz. A Rodrigo Gomez de Almeida PK early in the first overtime period set Rochester up, Flower City up, for what would become a 3-1 victory. Almeida scores in the 14th minute to put Flower City up 1-0. Erie answers later. An enormous stop, a save of the year potential from Christian Burkhardt, keeps that at 1-1 as we get further into that half. We hit extra time. Flower City scores a pair. Chase Alexander buries one in the second extra time period, and that 3-1 final is where this lands. Now, that 97th minute goal only outdoes by just a little bit the 95th minute goal that Ambassadors needed to beat RNY. Now, that was in stoppage time, so they had yet to actually reach extra time or overtime. They were still playing their way in stoppage time, injury time, and they were in the 95th minute when Brandon Trujillo plants one home. Now, he's not in the lineup tonight. He's one of their better forwards, one of their better offensive players. Not here this evening, but scores what, I mean, you have to say, it's melodramatic, maybe it's a little hyperbolic, but it's their goal of the year. That propels them into this matchup with Flower City. Goaltending matchup is a fun one. You've got Christian Burkhardt, who has led Flower City down the home stretch. He had a trio of shutouts to end the regular season, shared one with Carter Kladstrup, but he's played really well of late. A just dynamite save, a critical save, as Coach Jordan Sullivan mentioned the other day to me. He and I were chatting about the last game, the next game, kind of the upcoming draw that we have here with Ambassadors. And Gavin Ernst, who has come on of late as well for Ambassadors and has played just tremendous, tremendous soccer down the latter half of the season and sees his team through that playoff matchup. And here we are in the Great Lakes Conference Finals. Now, buckle up. Now, I've mentioned this. It's hot down there. It looks gorgeous. All right, I'm sitting here next to Command Center Extraordinaire. Yeah, he's over here pushing buttons, shooting things. It looks great. It is hot. So be ready for that. And the players are as well. Your lineups here playing in front of Gavin Ernst. You've got Dan O'Callahan. You've got Omar Najjar, Amir Spratt, the leading scorer in Great Lakes Conference play through the regular season. Alex Depperschmidt, Matthew Skladany, Jordan Akins, Jacob Irani, Randy Harris. There's your lineup for Ambassadors. Flower City comes at you with Christian Burkhardt, but you also see Ryan Fitzgerald, Miles Palmer, Dylan Rice, Nick Rippey, Nate Masucci. Xavier Ellish returns to the lineup after missing the last one. Ryan Brown, Gavin Egan, Rodrigo Gomez de Almeida, the all-time leading scorer in franchise history, And a break here early in this one, trying to get back, and just a bouncing ball. Now this appears to go off of Fitzgerald. We're going to see what's awarded here. The flag is up for an offside, so no, whoever that bounced off of at the end does not matter. So this will be an offsides kick that I believe Burkhart will take up here. Finishing out the lineup, veteran, two-time national champ back in the NISA days, Kyle Nelson. Nelson winning a title with Michigan and then making his way to Flower City, where he won the NISA title with Flower City a couple of years ago. And now Flower City plays their first home playoff game ever. Now, that's with an asterisk. The last game was a home playoff game, which is not on our home pitch. We, again, thank the wonderful folks at Roberts Wesleyan for giving us use of their field with a little scheduling conflict out this way. Great matchup that night, great field. Really great stuff, but this is the first Flower City home playoff game on our home pitch in the franchise's history. But 4 years, it's still a young pup of a franchise, but third trip into the playoffs in those 4 years in a couple of different leagues. Here's a ball over the top from Brown. He's got Gomez de Almeida. Now Almeida trying here. Can he put a move on Harris? Turning. Almeida, right foot to the net, and there's a stop by Ernst. Ernst gets his first action of the evening. A diving, sprawling stop to his right. First scoring chance for Flower City. I believe Jacob Irani was the defender that Almeida was working his way around. Apologies there. So an errant pass there results in a Flower City throw-in. Rice will chip this one back. He finds Ryan Brown once again. Brown held a real good back line in that last matchup. Palmer into the box. Almeida's there, but couldn't quite catch with it. Rippey now turning. Rice firing up and over the bar. So a pair of chances in this one. We are just clicking away near the end of the 4th minute. 2 shots, 1 on target for Flower City here. Ernst tested early in this one. You see Flower City setting up here with Almeida and Rice kind of, quote, pressuring as they kind of back away here as Ernst will get it out of there. Two teams that both had a couple of days of real strong training sessions. Talking to Jordan Sullivan, head coach of Flower City, he said as a ball up for Rippey is going to go up the line and just trickle into touch. Players that saw 70, 80, 90 plus minutes of time had kind of a relaxed couple of days, you know, got the work in that they needed, were spelled, and the guys either were not able to make the last game or saw less minutes, picked up the slack there, and just a couple of days of real good training for Flower City. On the other side, I was speaking with both Director of Football Operations Bob Dean as well as head coach Ryan Dean. Nice father-son duo, super nice guys meeting down on the field this afternoon. Both were talking about how just they were real pleased with this week of training following the RNYFC game. And speaking to that game, talking to Coach Dean, you know, I happened to slide in the conversation as a ball finds its way to Jordan Akins. Akins looking to make a move and come inside. That's a real nice touch to get that one away. Now a falling attack from Spratt there ends up. Flower City will be able to recover and maybe get this one out of here. Maybe I'm speaking too soon on that one. That's going to just get chipped up and out of there by Fitzgerald. Egan will give chase. Fitzgerald chasing as well. Now coming down once again. Spratt is on his right. There's just a ball that's going to come all the way to Burkhart. Harris and Spratt showing some chemistry right there. Forcing a little offensive pressure. Now Almeida's header is going to bounce all the way behind him and over to Ernst. Talking to Coach Dean, I mentioned that, you know, the selfish, you know, the guy that would love to see the energy here in the Flower City, the selfish announcer in me would have, you know, appreciated the third Rochester derby of the season. I mean, right now it's 1-1. They're down the road. There's going to need to be a rubber match. But had mentioned that, and he said that RNY FC team, they wanted it. They really did. Not that the two teams didn't. And a sliding challenge ends up with a foul. Officials coming over to have a conversation here. I don't see this being a card situation. Nelson coming in his leadership role, listening to the story here. Egan and Rice in there. But congrats on a fine season, their first year in NPSL to RNY FC. Flower City looks forward to those future derbies. But Ambassadors works their way through that. That goal in the 95th minute puts them here. Now this free kick puts them about 40 yards from Pater. Here's a low-lying ball. It does get into the box. This is bouncing. Spratt is down there. And this is going to go up and over the net. Now, this appears a corner kick is going to ensue. Spratt got a toe on that, but that must have gone off of a lilac and black cladded fella of some variety. So Swan appears to be putting a right foot into this one. Low line ball into the box. A header did connect with O'Callahan. Almeida was there to knock that one away. Here's Swan again, right foot, lobbing toward the box. Header to the net. Burkhart with a save. What a stop. Josh Lord had all of that and a great angle on that header, and Burkhart up to the task. Unofficially, I've got that at now 2 scoring chances a team. What a save by Burkhart on the heels of that incredible stop he made in the second half against Erie just the other night. Again, Coach Sullivan calling that one just critical for that game and, frankly, for the season. This is do or die time in the playoffs. Ball in from Palmer. Egan's going to turn, try to spin. This is going to get lobbed back out of there. This gets on Lord's foot. Lord, probably a minute ago, thought he had one. Burkhart there to stop it. Spratt with a little creative touch to try to get one out of there. A lot of small field movement going on here, and it looks like Ambassadors will have a way to get it out. And now offsides. That is as far north and offsides as you might see in a game. Randy Harris just maybe a little too quick before the ball got there. Harris fresh off of membership on the All-Ohio team in NCAA Division III, playing his senior season or grad season at Wilmington College. Now a offsides the other way will give, or an out of, into touch, I should say. We'll put the ball back in Ambassadors' possession. Little jockeying, little pushing and shoving. Play on, says the man in the yellow. Touchdown finds Palmer. Palmer's got Rice in front of him, but he's working 1-on-2. Sliding challenge, nice play from Jordan Akins. Clean steal of that one. And a take by Nelson on Spratt. So now a sliding. So the official asking Spratt to have a conversation here. Amir Spratt is getting a yellow card for this one. So Ambassadors Spratt gets the yellow here in the 11th minute. Kyle Nelson still down on the ground. The Heat has to just sort of enhance any bruising, anything you're going to see today. So respectful handshake on the fallout of that one. But Spratt, the talented second-year man from University of Mount Union, puts a little too much into that foul, gets the card, and now Flower City will get a free kick on about 8 yards into their half of the middle of the pitch. Lobbing ball doesn't get all the way to Almeida. And now a shove in the back of Masucci is going to result in a free kick for Flower City, or a startup, I should say. A foul will just give a restart. Ryan Brown holding the ball will give for Masucci. Masucci will now take a free kick. Now this one will come from about maybe 35 yards from pay dirt. Whistle, Masucci's hands are up. Plant foot is down, right foot ball is along the turf. Nelson gets it up in the air. That's not Nelson, that's Palmer. Palmer header. And now Spratt's gonna work to try to get around Brown. Now whistle behind where the ball was. Rippey will send it back just to give it to Ambassadors. Middle of the pitch touch for Lord. His pass a little errant. Elish had a touch there, and Nelson's gonna just kind of watch this scoot through. Kyle Nelson back there, stability in that center back position and leadership. Burkhart now, right foot, bombing one out toward the middle of the pitch. Sort of pressed into that kick by Randy Harris. Harris and Spratt have been buzzing around the Flower City box. All 13-25 of this one thus far. So Akins takes a tumble now, ball over the top. Here's one for Almeida. Almeida's down there, no flag. Almeida now down really low for Rice. Rice to the net, he scores! Goal, Flower City! Dylan Rice picks up his first of the playoffs, 6 of the whole season. Second on this Flower City team in goals. Now also tied for second in the playoffs and gets Flower City on the board 1-0 in this one. Almeida took that lobbing pass from over the top. He was on sides. You saw Ambassador's couple hands in the air, maybe checking that one. But he turns, sees Rice in an opportune spot, hits him, and Rice gets it behind Ernst. 1-0 Flower City. Here's Palmer looking to start things for Flower City, maybe answer right back. Or maybe not answer, maybe continue right back. Rippey on the wing. Rippey chipping it inside. Almeida's down there, but Ernst is gonna collect this one. Jacob Irani will send this one back. Irani, one of a couple members of this Ambassadors squad from Otterbein College. Junior there. Trio of goals in 60 games. Talented defender who's making his way up that left flank, right flank. Ball now out on the left. Lord with a touch. Najjar from the center back, wearing the C, that green captain's band. Coach Dean and Director of Football Ops, Bob Dean, both high on Najjar as a leader, both mentioned his captaining of this squad and helping get them here to this point. Nice touch, nice movement. So on the far side, Harris couldn't quite collect it. And this is going to be the first of what will be 2, or actually I believe it'll be 3. We'll make sure we understand that one. Water breaks, hydration stops And we will encourage you to do the same. Go get yourself a frosty beverage, go get something to eat, but come back and watch the conference championship here in NPSL. Back at the Rochester Community Sports Complex home pitch of Flower City Union. Flower City hosting Ambassadors FC Ohio. This is the Great Lakes Conference Championship game. This is the finals right here. Both these teams winning a semifinal matchup in latter stages. Ambassadors in the 95th minute playing in stoppage time. Took some overtime, some extra time period for Flower City to get their win, but both these teams get those late wins and meet here today on a very hot afternoon. Now what we're coming out of here is the first hydration break, a little water stoppage. Keep these athletes as healthy as they can be playing in 90+ degree heat on a artificial turf surface. It is hot down there. Back underway. Now this is going to get played back for the right back, Irani. He touches one ahead and does find it with Spratt. Spratt, dangerous, skilled, working off a shove, and he's going to take a foul here from Masucci. And Ambassadors will play on with a restart. Spratt, 4 goals in June. He was nominated for NPSL Player of the Month, as was the aforementioned Masucci back in June for both of those young men. Free kick will start things up here. Both these teams are riding 4-game winning streaks to this point. That's 3 to end the regular season and a playoff victory. Lobbing ball. Header is going to go way up. Burkhardt is going to collect this, keep it out of the net. The ball had been started by Brendan Swan. Now a recovery. Here's Jordan Akins. Gets it on the wing. Here's Omar Najjar. Najjar inside. Nice touch to get it there. Now right foot doesn't clear all the way through. Najjar is going to send this one wide. Now working from the left edge. Right foot shot to Burkhardt, who's going to sprawl and send this one. This will go behind him for a corner. So a quick touch corner right there. Swan's going to lob one into the box, headed out by Almeida. Almeida with an impressive vertical. Ball down for Akins. Akins, nice spinning touch to get this one inside. And the lobbing ball up, not well over, sorry. Matthew Skladany trying to get that one up and over Burkhardt. He gets it up over the keeper, but manages to just get it a little bit over the crossbar. Skidini had a big goal against RNYFC in that playoff matchup the other day. 3 goals in the regular season finale. This Ambassadors team had quite a second half in their regular season finale to clinch the number 2 seed, clinch that home game. Palmer up. This is going to go in for a goal. Score! Flower City. So Almeida gets his second helper of the evening. That play generated in such a way as that ball landed in front of Palmer. I think he took everyone, including your humble announcer, off guard, and just a little touch, just a little lob, just that was pretty. Ernst was caught helpless, and that ball just trickles its way in, and 2-0 your score. Flower City on top as we now tick into the 24th minute. What a first half of the first half. We'll call that the first quarter, I guess. Not a term you hear in soccer much, but we'll go with it. Swan will touch this back for his center back. This comes over to Irani. Najjar will work from the center back position, send it wide. Rice is there. Far side of my position, Dan O'Callahan, veteran of this NPSL league. Not his first stop here, but a talented defender as Akins comes in. Akins sends one trying to fire that inside, but it gets handled by Flower City's defense. Brown sent away Akins' touch and just fires that one out of there. This will be Ambassadors' ball on their side of the pitch. Throw in coming down here from Irani, sorry. Sent back by Masucci. Palmer with a lobbing touch over to Rice. Rice is going to try to switch fields to Rippey, but this gets picked off. Rippey looked to work inside, but didn't get the ball his way. Depperschmidt, another University of Mount Union talent. Here's Rice, middle of the pitch. He's going to throw this one into space. He's going to settle at the feet of Jacob Irani once again. Now a ball over the top. Onside is Spratt. Spratt working against Fitzgerald. Spratt dancing, getting closer. Fitzgerald's going to touch this one. This is going to go, let me say that one over. Fitzgerald is not going to touch this one. Maybe a little stutter step just inside the ball. This rolls beyond the end line. This will be a goal kick for Christian Burkhart. Brighton High School product. Burkhart lobs this one toward his bench. This will give Ambassadors a startup down here. 2-0 your score. We're in the 26th minute. Flower City, Almeida with a pair of helpers. He sets up Dylan Rice and Miles Palmer. Two very different looking goals, but worth the same nonetheless. 2-0 we sit here. Close to the 26-minute mark. Akins tries to get one through Palmer, and he can't, but this gets recovered by Irani. Swan wide for O'Callahan. O'Callahan will hit his captain, Najjar. Lobbing ball. This may connect. Depperschmidt trying to catch up with it. He does, just shy of the end line. Depperschmidt working against Fitzgerald. Now a cross. This goes all the way across the front of the net. Masucci just cleans that up, kicks that into touch. So we've seen Spratt buzzing around the net a couple different times. We've seen Harris down there as well, a couple of chances. Palmer right now, your first half man of the match. Now some pushing and shoving. This is going to go against Almeida, and this will be Ambassador's ball. Palmer, so far an outstanding effort from that midfield position, playing a real strong two-way game, both defensively and on the scoreboard with a goal. Now a ball up and across. Spratt is down there. Spratt with a touch, working against Rippey. Spratt now against a whole host of purple down there. O'Callahan with Almeida barreling down on him. He will reset all the way back to his keeper, Ernst. Talking with Coach Jordan Sullivan, something that, another lobbing ball, maybe looking for Spratt again, but he didn't make his run. Burkhart's going to collect this one. Something that Coach Jordan Sullivan talked about was that first matchup, and let me edit my own statement here by mentioning that Bob Dean from Ambassadors talked about, at this point in this pre-professional, this amateur league, all teams are dealing with different conditions, whether it's weather or roster management or availability was what the term that he used. Both teams have players that were a part of the roster at one point, no longer are. It's just the nature of kind of how this league comes together. And with that in mind, the first matchup at Ambassadors out in Ohio, Flower City was without Kyle Nelson and Rodrigo Almeida, so a pair of key pieces. And now this is going to be a card. As I mentioned, the talent and strength of Kyle Nelson, you see him awarded a yellow card. So Nelson picks up the yellow in the 28th minute. 29th minute for those of you scoring at home. I'll correct myself. So a little too much shoving right at the edge of the Flower City box. Another couple of steps and we might be having a different conversation about that foul. Burkhart might be staring down a PK, but nonetheless, Ambassadors will get a look at a free kick here coming from about 26 yards away. Flower City with a wall, giving Burkhart a lane of vision here. Burkhart set on his line. Trio of Ambassadors waiting over the ball. Ball's going to go right off that wall, right to Irani's foot. He's going to send this one wide for the captain. Ball into the box, sent away clean. Irani again, long ball. This is going to head up. That was labeled for 7-6 out there, had that netting not been there. Now this will be your second hydration break, your second water break, and this will be your second opportunity to go get a beverage, go get yourself refreshed, and come back and watch this, the Great Lakes Conference Finals here. You are watching NPSL. back in beautiful downtown Rochester, the Rochester Community Sports Complex. Site of this, the Great Lakes Conference Finals, the championship to be awarded this evening to the host Flower City Union or to Ambassadors FC Ohio. Bill Smith back out here on the terrace, calling the action for you here. That was your second hydration break. It is a hot one here in downtown Rochester, here in the Rochester area. And they are taking precautions to help stave off anything detrimental to the athletes. Really pushing themselves out there this evening. This has been an excellent match to this point. We are in the 34th minute, 2-0 Flower City. And the officials, coaches, everyone doing everything they can to make sure the heat is as dealt with as possible with those hydration breaks. Something that Coach Ryan Dean was mentioning a key was, you know, he mentioned, he used the term whoever stays on top of emotions. Both these teams are just very, very just ready for this stage and excited to be here. So whoever stays on top of emotions, you know, kind of controls that. And you've seen from both sides that today. That said, he also mentioned whoever will be able to deal with the heat, perhaps. If one team is better equipped for that or is better handle of that, that could be who comes out on top of this. So the heat is going to play a role today one way or another. Here's Gavin Egan. Egan, touch for Rippey. Rippey turning. Rippey coming off an excellent game in that semifinal against Erie. Rippey, the quote engine on the wings in that last matchup, as Coach Sullivan put it when he and I were chatting this week. Rice touches inside. Finds it for Fitzgerald. This is Fitzgerald. That came off of Brown. Fitzgerald, right foot, liner of a kick, catches Almeida in the chest. He's going to get another touch and a shot. What a save by Ernst. Scoring chance and excellent goaltending there. Almeida able to control that off his chest. Now quickly back the other way. Here's a counter from Ambassadors, and this shot from Harris isn't going to go anywhere near Burkhart. Harris came up the wing quickly after that scoring chance from Flower City's Almeida. So Burkhart will put a foot into this one. Up and over. Almeida's going to head this one. Palma's there to head it into space. Rice is running down there, but he's going to lose a race to the keeper. Alex Depperschmidt did a nice job of boxing out Dylan Rice on his way to the ball there. Depperschmidt, another Mount Union, may have mentioned that previously. Mount Union, Malone University, and Otterbein. Those three programs up and down this Ambassadors roster. A lot of Ohio products, a lot of Akron, Ohio, where this program has a presence. Home pitch for Ambassadors in Canton. About 54 miles south of Chagrin Falls, Ohio. Subject of song by the greatest rock and roll outfit in the history of music, the Tragically Hip, Objective Point. O'Callahan will get a touch here. He's going to send this one wide. This will head out, trying to catch Swan, but the flag comes up. Lord, I should say. Burkhart will get a start here after the offsides. Long ball lobbing downfield. Almeida is down there with Palmer. A lot of different hands pointing in different directions. This is going to be a Flower City ball. lobbing throw-in gets headed out by O'Callahan. Lord with a touch back to his right back, and he's just going to punch this one out of there under pressure from Palmer. A puzzled expression being read all over head coach Ryan Dean. And I want to mention that Ambassadors in that started into this before in that regular season finale. They score 3 second half goals to win that one. Another one coming late. That's been a theme for this team. 94th minute goal from Utter. They were down 3-1 in that second half. They win 4-3. That clinches that home playoff berth in that last game, clinches the 2 seed. So a 2-goal deficit to Ambassadors is nothing insurmountable. And I'm saying all this knowing full well there's a lot of time left. We are in the 39th minute. This is also a team that will now rest on their laurels, that being Flower City. Palmer, low liar into the box. Turning, shot, doesn't get through from Almeida. Does try to put a left foot. This goes across the box. Egan can't turn and connect, and a header from Almeida does connect. So some redirections there from Flower City in a couple of spots might have been a little more dangerous, but buzzing around the net, a term I used before on the other side. Flower City was there as Ambassadors will get a chance to kind of restart things from their backs. Center back in Captain Najjar will send it wide to O'Callahan. Middle of the pitch and some room to move. Swan's going to try to send this one long. Akins was down there with some room to move. Up over the top, Almeida. Chance to work one-on-one, but he won't get that chance because that ball was offsides. Irani and Swan playing catch. This ball is going to get all the way back. Nelson's just going to shepherd this one into touch. Something that Coach Sullivan mentioned, and I've already sung, and will probably again sing Kyle Nelson's praises, but his backs, managing the strikers, the talented offensive players that this Ambassadors team has, and Brown, Fitzgerald, Elish, Nelson. That line has been very, very stout as they're pressed right now. The left foot to Burkhart, who sees that. Angle was great. His defenders had everything shored up. There was one lane to go with the ball, and Burkhart was there. Elish more of a midfield role, but will see himself back there with Brown, Fitzgerald, and Nelson, who were very stout in the last game. Palmer back for Brown. Brown's going to go all the way back to his keeper. Burkhart's got Spratt barreling down. Burkhart's going to time this one and then bomb this one out. Over the top. Egan is within range, but a header is going to put this back with Ernst. So a ball through. That's a nice touch to Akins if he can get there first, but it's offsides. Less nice than I had mentioned there. I mean, it was a nice ball. It was, just offsides. Burkhart, soft touch for Brown. Here's Masucci along the wing. Masucci, he'll reset again. So foul is going to give this ball back to Ambassadors. Here's Almeida trying to get that one through O'Callahan, but he didn't get it there. Nice turn from, that's a nice play there from Nate Masucci. He's got Annan offsides. Almeida thought he collected that one appropriately, but the gentleman in the yellow shirt, about as far as you can get from where I'm sitting, says otherwise. Now, an unconnected with the offsides call, foul is going to give Flower City this touch. They will get a kick here from Rice. Hands are up. Plant foot is down. Right foot lobs the ball toward the box. Ernst is going to take it out of the air, and some shouting. Nelson shoved to the ground. Nelson on the receiving end of a yellow card previously, so some frustration probably there. Not shown by Nelson himself, but this crowd certainly is feeling it. So we are playing in the 45th minute, stoppage time to come. So 5 minutes of stoppage time, a long spell. So some shoving goes unaccounted for via calls. And here's Spratt. Spratt inside. Akins is there. That's going to get cleared away. Now a foul from Almeida on Swan will result in a free kick. Najjar trying to get one up and in, and he does to Skladany. Skladany working against Palmer, gets around him. Skladany out into space, connects. Now trying to go inside, that got sent away by Flower City's defense. Now this should be a Flower City, and it is. Touch. Or a touch from Ambassador's Flower City possession. There it is. I got there. Brown with a long lobbing ball up, clears Rice. Goes right over Najjar as well. This is going to... Ernst out of Malone University as our handful of his teammates. It's also the host field, Malone University, where this Ambassadors team plays their home matches. Here's a ball up over the top. Lord hits the deck. The ball does get there, and now back for Lord. This gets punted away. And there's a bomb of a clear out from Gavin Egan. And this is going to stay in bounds. Nick Rippey flying up that right wing. Rippey intercepts this one. Rippey trying to deal with Ernst, who just throws it into touch, kicks it into touch. Can't really throw it in soccer. So an interesting one-on-one battle right there between Nick Rippey and Gavin Ernst. We are a couple of minutes into what was indicated as 5 minutes of stoppage time. So a shove into Rice's back will give Flower City a free kick from an interesting spot. This is a little closer than a corner kick. Rice standing over the ball, so we will see the Flower City stalwart, Dylan Rice. Had the game winner against Ambassadors back in June. Right foot, this is heading into the box. A header does go down. Ernst is gonna just smack that one away. And then this will get cleared out. Here's Egan. Egan for Flower City. Right foot for Rice. Rice touches this one down. He sends a left foot cross. Gets all the way through. Egan's gonna have a little bit of room at the edge of the box. Sends one close to the net. Ernst is gonna just get there. This gets played by Spratt. Spratt working one-on-one. Spratt trying a little bit of desperation to get around Ryan Brown. Masucci, right foot, trying to get one in front where Rice can do something with it, but just a little too much. Keeper Ernst will just fly this one downfield. Rippey taking his arms away from contact. Spinning touch from Randy Harris. Harris now, a little bit of space. Harris coming inside. Harris looking for Spratt. I don't know what the chemistry they have. I'm not sure he was looking. He just knew he was there. Ball to the outside, right wing with some space. Irani all the way across. This is going to clear the area. This is going to clear the sideline. And the whistles will clear the field as the first half comes to an end. Flower City 2, Ambassadors FC Ohio 0. One half is in the books here, the Great Lakes Conference Finals. We have another full half. It's hot out there. If it's hot where you are, get something cold to drink wherever you are. Refresh yourself, enjoy your halftime, but come back and catch the second half of action. You are watching NPSL. welcome back. This is Rochester, New York. This is a hot summer afternoon, evening, and this is the Great Lakes Conference Finals, the championship right here on the line here at the Rochester Community Sports Complex. Flower City Union hosting Ambassadors FC Ohio. Flower City on top 2-0 after one half. I am Bill Smith. Hey, I'm your pregame, your play-by-play, your color, your halftime, your postgame, all-in-one master of ceremonies. I wear many hats. It improves my neck strength. And we've got a fun one after one and a lot left to be decided. These are two teams I mentioned from the beginning of the broadcast, top of the entire thing, through that first half, how both of these teams have come back kind of at the death at a couple different points. Flower City getting a huge win over crosstown rival RNYFC earlier in the season in the death, 90+. Ambassadors have had 2 games in a row where they've had to score north of 94 minutes. So lots and lots and lots of time left on this one before anything is settled. But Flower City gets a pair of goals, one from Dylan Rice, set up by Rodrigo Almeida, and then a second from Miles Palmer, set up by Rodrigo Almeida. 2 very different looking goals. The Rice goal, kind of a recovery touch from Almeida down very low. He turns behind him, sees Rice sort of screaming in, hits him. Rice buries it. The Palmer goal, kind of a unknowing start to it as it came over the top, just kind of bounced into play, and then Palmer's there inside of everybody. He just lobs it up and over, and bang, buries that home. So Josh Baraka is on for Flower City starting this second half. Xavier Ellish, his evening is done, the man they call X. And a ball for Almeida doesn't connect, crossing it Najjar. Mentioned conversations with both coaches about practice this week. Neither team was able to really simulate these elements, but both teams talking about how productive a couple days worth of training was leading into this one. Lighthearted was the word that Coach Sullivan used after their overtime matchup. Coach Dean, Bob Dean, talking about how they were also just relaxed but intense. Real nice couple of training sessions leading into this one. And we'll see how that pays off here in this just blistering heat in this second half. There will be a pair of water breaks, hydration stoppages just to help keep people healthy. This will get sent up for Almeida. Throw from Fitzgerald, connects with Egan. Egan shoved at the edge of the box. This will just get kind of gently bounced off of Egan and into touch. Something that Coach Sullivan talked about with results of the last game, and then heading into this one, he was singing the praises of his midfielders from that last one. They were running all over when they were pressed. They did, in his words, a hero job. But talking about his middies and his defense heading into this one, the idea was to just not be frantic. It was critical to, another word he used a couple different times, just to kind of maintain composure. And we've seen that throughout this matchup so far. Something Coach Dean said as well. He mentioned how pressure is a privilege, but neither team has cracked to that pressure. Baraka, crossing ball all the way over for Palmer. Palmer turns, shot to the net. Wow, that was rifled. So the hand comes out from Ernst, and this will be a corner, Flower City's first corner of the half. Palmer on the far side from where I sit got every bit of that last shot. Hands are up, plant foot is down, ball is screaming into the box. This is gonna go all the way off the post, I think. Rippey turns, a little bit of space. Rippey, left foot to the net. This is gonna bounce off the post. That one does hit iron. What a sequence. Flower City with a pair of chances and buried in all of that. Skladany pressured off of his touch. O'Callahan's gonna get it back to the keeper, but here comes Rice. O'Callahan lobbing touch to kind of fly this and up to the wing. Flower City doing everything, just pressure, pressure, pressure here. Baraka now. This should be Flower City ball, yes. So Flower City will get a chance to throw in here. Just north of 6:10 into this second half. Flower City's pressure. Ambassadors just now found themselves in a serious pickle. Just pressure coming. Just some spicy pressure from Flower City, and they're laying it on here. Here's Almeida trying to push in. He shrugs off a tackle. Almeida still loose. Almeida shoved down. Referee is shaking his head and no call. Speaking of spicy, back the other way. Here comes Ambassadors. Rodrigo Almeida is down behind the play. Baraka's going to kind of knock that one down with a heel. Now the official blows it dead as Almeida is sort of picking himself up back by Ernst. So a shove put him down. Flower City with just a couple of just wild chances in the last couple of minutes as the official here speaking with Rippey and Josh Lord. So now ball in from Irani will get things started here. So following that exchange, Christian Burkhart will get a chance to reset things here. So on the heels of a flurry a couple of minutes ago from Flower City, Ambassadors get the ball back down this way. Burkhardt will send one back out. Palmer will just kind of heel one up and over. Some stuttering starts here in the last 90 seconds or so. O'Callahan will push one off to Depperschmidt. Rippey pushes in and perhaps pushes more than just his presence. A little shove into the back of Brendan Swan. O'Callahan will work to the left side, get it all the way to the edge to Depperschmidt. Depperschmidt works it ahead. Here's Lord. Lord inside, trying to get Harris free. Harris is fighting off a couple of different lilac-clad players, among them Baraka. Now a grabbing foul will give Ambassadors a reset over from where that last ball came from. 23, 24-ish yards away here unofficially. Conversation to be had on where and what to do. Components of a set piece probably at play here. A Swan will stand over the ball. Flower City wall to his left. Burkhardt eyeing things to the left through a gap in his defenders. Hands up, plant foot. There's a lining ball, I should say. Now a lobbing ball up, and a header is going to go all the way up and over Burkhardt. So perhaps the most dangerous of note chance to this point of the second half for Ambassadors. As we play in the 57th minute. Aikens getting away from Palmer. Up and into space, but nobody home. Nelson and Fitzgerald are going to kind of just watch that one roll, give Burkhardt a chance to start things here. Burkhardt's lobbing ball up over Egan. Fitzgerald watches one bounce as Nelson heads it away. Rippey a header kind of settles things. But out to the wing for Josh Lord. Here comes Randy Harris. Baraka, all kinds of pressure. Spratt, the conference's leading scorer through the regular season, can't catch up with that one. We have 3 of the top 4 and 4 of the top 6 scorers in the regular season as far as goals are concerned playing in this matchup. Amir Spratt led all scorers with 10. Almeida from Flower City with 7. Rice with 5. Down tied for 6th. Skladany with 3. Egan ahead for Rice. Rice perhaps a little bit of room, but he can't quite get through Najjar. But now he's got some space. Here's Dylan Rice. Rice looking for a second of the game, and he's got it! Score! Flower City goal! What a play by Dylan Rice. There was a measure of a second effort there. 59th minute, as you hear from the voice from above. Dan doing a good job over there as always. Dylan Rice doing a good job on the field. We're doing an okay job here in the booth. The fans, the excitement, the energy in the stadium, great stuff. But we are at a water break. Folks at home, get your refreshments, get cooled down, and come back. You are watching NPSL. Back at the Rochester Community Sports Complex. We're coming out of a water break. We are coming out of a Flower City goal. Dylan Rice gets his second of the contest, his second of the playoffs, 7th overall on this season. I was just going over kind of how the scoring table looked for the season. And Rice comes in and just spins one. Couple of changes coming in here for Ambassadors on the heels of that. And a chance perhaps for Almeida's. That just gets, Ernst just wobbles that one out of there through the air. Changes for Ambassador. We're seeing Benjamin Mahalik is out there now, and a foul there, no call. I shouldn't use the word foul, there's no call. Some physicality, some shoving. Ball out for Harris. Harris up the wing. He gets a trip from Egan, but continues on. Lord out wide. Now a right foot is gonna scream up over from Michael Kane. He's one of the subs that just came in. Mahalik and Kane both on for Ambassadors. Goal kick coming for Christian Burkhart. Looking back to the most recent Rice goal. So a yellow card is coming to Flower City's Jordan Sullivan. I am amiss with what the reasoning is for this one, but Odd happening there, but happening nonetheless. On the Rice goal, Almeida with just a smooth ball in. Turf burner of a pass that went through 2 defenders and put Rice into space. So unofficially, I am not your official scorer, but I'm gonna mark it here on my own sheet. Almeida has set up all 3 goals this evening. A trio of helpers, apples, if you will, if this was ice hockey. It's not. Depperschmidt ball in. Here's some space and a shot tipped just enough by Burkhart, or missed by Burkhart, because this will be his goal kick here. Michael Kane with a second opportunity coming in off the bench in the last couple of minutes. He's had 2 looks at it already. So we are playing in the 65th minute. Kane's gonna lob one over, finds Spratt. Spratt now working against Nelson. Nelson gets the better of him here. Nelson up the wing. This just bounced kind of into nowhere off of Akins. I've talked about my conversation with Coach Sullivan in regards to Kyle Nelson. Something that they mentioned was his experience helping to manage the striker. And you saw that right there, strikers, and you saw that right there, managing Spratt on that attack. Here's a low ball that didn't get through from Depperschmidt. Cleared demonstratively by Ryan Fitzgerald. Just banging that one off the walls. Ambassadors will have a chance to set things here. This ball is in the box. It's going to come all the way through, but offsides. It's one of those clunky, weird spots to see an offsides flag, but it is offsides nonetheless. Burkhart will get a chance here. Burkhart has had a couple of real nice stops, one real dynamite one back in the first half. Depperschmidt is going to put one out into a little bit of room for Irani, who's going to work it with Akins. Akins up the wing. Here's Kane one more time. His pass doesn't get through. Flower City looks to counter. Long switch of fields to Rice. Rice with Baraka to his right. Sees him sort of screaming in there. He's going to put it into space for him, and maybe just a little too much. Depperschmidt will shepherd that one all the way across the end line. Now a change coming. Ambassadors looking to substitute here. Brian Kern's going to step on, spelling Akins. Najjar, his clear doesn't get through. Rice is looking. Rice throws it inside for Almeida. Clunky outlet there. Flower City with a chance. Almeida's working 1-on-3. Najjar takes it away. Errant pass from Kern. Rice had a look at one there. There's Kern again, trying to catch up with it. Kern, a grad of Ohio Northern University. Scored 10 goals over his college career. There's a take from Depperschmidt. Depperschmidt trying to cross it over for Lord. But coming all the way back and just taking the ball was Palmer. Palmer, long cross, looking for Baraka. Baraka watches this get head down in front of him. Here's the aforementioned Brian Kern. Kern is going to try to throw this one up ahead for Spratt. Spratt sees Nelson win a race. Spratt now on the ensuing throw-in. Nice pop of a touch from Christian Burkhart. Kern again working 1-on-2. Just deposited into touch by Fitzgerald. Depperschmidt looking to go with this somewhere. Oh, Rice maybe with a little bit of room. Rice is going to slow things down, let the world catch up with him, but then he gets it into space. Rice has had a dynamite game. I mean, he's got a pair of goals. That goes without saying. Josh Lord will watch this one fly off to his right. Mahalik couldn't quite get it to him. Mahalik spent some time at Baldwin Wallace and has played recently in Spain, their club scene. Here's Masucci. Masucci with a little bit of running room. He gets it wide for Palmer. Palmer freezes. Palmer lobbing right foot up over. This is just going to get taken out of the air by Ernst. Stretching two-handed grab from the Ambassadors keeper. Gladani finds Depperschmidt. Depperschmidt looking to work inside. Finds Spratt. Spratt off a shove. Spratt to the net. What a stop behind Burkhart. Unbelievable defense. And back the other way, Almeida. Almeida looks to work inside. Can't quite catch up with his own. Play of the game to this point from Ryan Fitzgerald, the sprawling save, maintaining the 3-goal lead for Flower City. Now a lobbing ball for Spratt, not offsides. Here's Spratt. To the goal, up and over. Burkhart got enough of it, forcing a corner kick. Spratt had some mustard on that one. They were in a pickle before, some mustard there. Ambassadors making a sandwich. Here's a corner for Ambassadors. Right hand up, plant foot down. Ball still there. Left foot to the net, past the net. Screaming this one up into the stands. Burkhart will have a chance to get things started here. We are ticking close to the end of the 73rd minute. A 3-0 lead for Flower City. Burkhart lobs that one all the way down. Depperschmidt will push this one off for Najjar. Skladany on a Baldwin Wallace. Had a huge 3-goal game against FC Buffalo in that game that clinched them the second seed, I should say. Top seed won here to Flower City. Skladany leaves it for Kern. Kern pressured by Nick Rippey. Rippey's gonna push out. Masucci, Rippey, Palmer not letting the attackers get set. Palmer working with Spratt. Masucci comes in to help. Now up. Not getting a lot on that one. Just kind of bouncing ball into the box. That came from Depperschmidt. That one connects. That does connect hard with Miles Palmer, who went down in a heap. Trainers coming on the field. Palmer is up, waving the trainer away. I think there'll be a conversation, but I also think this is our second of 2 water breaks here in this second half. This hydration break will be your last stop of this sort in this matchup. And Flower City will carry a 3-0 lead into this short break. You should carry whatever you'd like into this short break, but come back. You are watching the NPSL. Coming back in from the last water break, hydration break, keeping these athletes healthy on a scorching hot day. Sun is low, a little bit of cloud cover. It's getting later, so the temperature has dropped considerably. Although, frankly, anything feels considerably cooler when it's now less than 94. But I digress. 3-0 your score here. Flower City leads the Great Lakes Conference final right here on the Rochester Community Sports Complex turf. Bill Smith bringing you this one. Coming in from the last stoppage, we saw Miles Palmer take a pretty hard shot from the ball. He does get substituted in the stoppage there. Seemed to be none the worse for wear. Shaking hands with everybody. Seems all right, but Jacob Savine will come on. Savine will see action in this one. Came off the bench in the last playoff game, played real well in that extra time. But now a startup will happen from, let's call it 35 yards from Christian Burkhart. For Ambassadors, they will get started here. Here's a ball that does connect with Harris. Savine down there working defensively. Into the box. Depperschmidt drops it back, but Rippey is there. Rippey is just gonna rip one out of there. Not the first time I've used that. Won't be the last, I'm sure. Najjar. Crossing ball now connecting with Harris. Harris tries to go inside. Does connect though with Kane. Kane with a little bit of room. Now he's collapsed on. This goes off a Flower City defender, and this will be a corner kick for Ambassadors. Ambassadors trying to move with some pace, finding themselves down 3 here. Clock is ticking in the 79th minute. Hands up, foot down, ball is floating into the box. This is a header that's going to go up and over Burkhart. Christian Burkhart will restart things here for Flower City. Bouncing ball headed by Almeida, trying to control. This will go into touch. This will stay Flower City ball. Some movement on the Flower City bench. I think we're going to see a couple more substitutions as this game is moving into the latter minutes. Baraka will look to throw in here. Here's Rice. Rice for Rippey. Rippey out of Churchville Chilai High School here, and a shot from Masucci. What a stop! Corner kick coming for Flower City. Masucci pinched in, very, very close. Got a shot on Gavin Ernst, who made a heck of a stop. Lost in what is currently a 3-0 score are a couple of outstanding Gavin Ernst saves. Hopefully not lost, as I am making mention of them. To anybody watching at home that hasn't been with us the whole time, that is not the first breathtaking stop from Gavin Ernst today. Here's Rippey into the box. Header almost from Almeida. Another ball, a term I have used, shepherded out, that time by Kane. Depperschmidt will sit. John Sidlowski. Heto Afune will step in. Masucci, after that goal chance a moment ago. Chase Alexander comes off. Dylan Rice will come off. This will give the crowd the opportunity to, as you hear it there, it was a warm send-off for Dylan Rice, who's had a heck of a game. One of the veteran leaders of this team. He's made his presence felt the last few games on the score sheet and just as a leader. Jonathan Sidlowski, Mount Union grad, calling for it just there. Lord will send this wide. Fellow Mount Union grad, Najjar, that's from Sidlowski, that is. So a corner for Ambassadors coming here. Sidlowski will get his first touch of the evening. Hands up, plant foot down, driving. This is along the turf and just bombed out of there by Almeida. Lord working against Afune. Hato Afune, a little too much of a pull there. Gives a foul. Afune out of MCC locally. Originally from Tokyo, Japan. Coming off the bench. Coach Sullivan looking to add just some fresh legs here late in this one. Bouncing ball in the box. Burkhart slides to collect this one, and he does. Amir Spratt with a handshake High five of respect there on the end of that play. And then he pushes a little pace there to move that one along. Love to see that in a hard fought. This is for a championship. A lot of respect on this field tonight. Ball from Baraka up for Almeida. This is going to be offsides. There's the whistle, saw the flag. This really has been, from my vantage point, just played both sides with a lot of respect, a lot of athleticism. It's been some fun moments of skill and energy to watch through this one. Both teams keeping their emotions in check, keeping their heads screwed on right. And a ball up over the top for Savine. He's going to come off the left wing, working against Kane. Trying to center it for Almeida. This gets headed out of there. And now taken down, foul. Alexander got sent to the turf. I think I used this expression before, about a step closer to the net. This would have been a different exchange here. That probably would have been a penalty. The official marking from where you see Savine, Hato, 3 lilac and black shirts standing over the ball. Wall is set. Ernst is set. Flower City set. A shot saved by Ernst. That ball was wired to the upper left if you're shooting, Ernst upper right. Egan and Alexander are gonna head over to the corner. We'll see what this exchange look like. There's the corner kick. That is just a touch to Alexander. He works 1-on-2. Ball is still live down there. A lot of jockeying going on. Rolls into touch, and this will be a goal kick. Quickly sent to their keeper. And a change coming. This is not a gamesmanship change of any sort. This is for Ambassadors. So Spratt and Skladany will sit. Aspinall and DiSodoro will step in. Aspinall of Baldwin Wallace fame, DiSodoro of Wittenberg fame. One-time first-team All-Greater Cleveland, DiSodoro. Rippey with a shove. This will result in a foul and a startup for Ambassadors. Kern standing over the ball. He will get the first look here. Playing late into this one. Ambassadors getting all the fresh legs they can out there. Still down 3. Still pushing. Kern lobbing one toward the net. Header from Harris went off of it. Looks like it went off of Hato. And this will be a corner. Late on the signal on that one. Running in, wasting no time, James DiSodoro. He's going to put a left foot into one here. A lot of bodies bunched near Christian Burkhart. Ball bounding, Almeida's going to just head that one right out of there. Kane will get to work with it. Kane, long ball toward Burkhart, who gets a paw on it. Bouncing ball that Rippey will head away. Sliding clear from Gavin Egan. Here's Kern. Kern coming around Gets his pocket picked. Alexander will have a chance to sort of come away with this one. He faces a little bit of pressure here. Battling, he gets shoved. Alexander scoring a goal near the end of the last match. Put that one out of reach for Erie. So we are ticking away in the 90th minute. Flower City on the doorstep of a championship. Rippey thrown down. Foul is drawn there. Mahalik gets called. The first NPSL championship for the Flower City. Perhaps waiting in the wings here. A conference championship. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but a championship nonetheless. There's your whistle as Fitzgerald, right foot, long ball toward the edge of the box. Hato Ofune will collect, place it for Savine. Savine's gonna just hold on to this, try to battle with Kane down at the edge of the field. There are 8 minutes of stoppage time coming. I mean, that's a lot of time. Anything I was just saying about waiting on a championship, let's make sure this gets into the garage. Burkhart, left foot, bombs this one out toward the middle of the pitch. Alexander and Rippey will both try to head this one. Alexander, a nice little touch over the top. Savine can't quite manage this. This is going to stay Flower City ball. Gavin Ernst will get a chance here. Headed into the offensive side by Najjar. And now a foul going against Ambassadors to give Flower City the restart here. Long stretch of injury time here, as we mentioned, 8 minutes underway. We're a minute and a half maybe into that. Hear the local supporters banging the drum. A touch goes wide, and Ambassadors will have a chance up the right wing. Time ticking away late in this one, but some minutes do remain. Aspinall gets it ahead, but Flower City's Brown will just return this one back off of Rippey. Rippey ahead. Alexander's gonna chase this one. Can he win a race against Mahalik? Comfortable to just let this one sort of kill seconds and roll away. There's Baraka taking a shove, finds Hato. Hato's just gonna lob this one in. Nice slow roller to Ernst. Flower City doing everything they can to not break defensively and just send this one ahead. Fitzgerald. And a slide tackle of the highest order from Gavin Egan. Sends the ball into touch. Cleaning up the building of a chance there from Randy Harris. Kern can't catch that ball, and this is going to go to Burkhart. Kern trying to expedite things by kicking it there himself, but Burkhart taking the time he is allotted. Rippey touches one down. Aspinall will try to send one up and over. Can't quite connect with Kane. Kane will chase Savine along the wing. But now find it again. Hits his own captain, Najjar. Now long ball to Lord to the left wing, working against Baraka. Just inside the box, trying to create a little bit of space. Baraka has bodied him out. Baraka gets shoved down. This is going to be a corner kick because the ball goes off of Baraka. Quick touch gets things underway. Sidlowski. Sidlowski with a little bit of room right here. He's going to take a right foot and send it, try to center it. Gets headed out of there. He's going to get a chance to perhaps create that chance again. Trying to center it, headed away by Fitzgerald. DiZadoro. Moving with some speed, Aspinall, but sent away by the Union. Smiles, but attentive focus from the Flower City bench. Nobody running anything off yet. No, offsides happens here, disrupting what was an extended offensive push from Ambassadors. Something that both Coach Dean and Bob Dean talked about was the growth of this team. I asked about the fact that this was the first year in this league. Ball for Almeida. Almeida turning right foot just left of the bar. His right, Ernst is left. Talking to Coach Dean about just the growth and first year playing in NPSL. They're very proud of reaching this point. This is just one team. Ambassadors is a large organization. This is one team among many in a wide system that they are very, very proud of. Particularly, of course, with this squad reaching this point. But they're proud of their growth, and they are going to, quote, continue to build as they go. This Ambassadors team has a lot to be proud of for this season. These were record-wise the top two teams in the Great Lakes Conference this season, the 1 and 2 seeds here playing ultimately for the championship. It seems fitting that the 2 seed will come in and take on the 1 seed on their home turf as Baraka sends this away. A shove from Almeida. We are in the dying minutes. 8 minutes of stoppage time, but we are up close to that. Ball sort of bouncing over to Burkhart. And we are not just close, we are there. There it is, everybody. Flower City Union are your Great Lakes Conference champions of 2025. They get the regular season title and they win the final here on their home turf, the 1 seed. They take down Ambassadors FC 3-0. on a hot night, a hot evening here in Rochester, New York, and a championship trophy is coming to Rochester, New York. 2 seasons ago, this team played in a different league and made a stunning run to a championship. A league switch a year ago ends in a first-round exit. And a year later, Flower City Union wins the semifinal, and tonight comes into the final and wins 3-0, capturing the Great Lakes Conference title. Now, the road is not yet done. NPSL is quite vast. Flower City is in the Midwest region. They will take on the other Midwest region finalist here at home in 1 week. Next Saturday, the Midwest region title will be on the line. Number of teams involved in that. Among them, a team Flower City is familiar with, Michigan Rangers, who were in our conference a year ago. But before we get there, Flower City looking to celebrate this one. An outstanding performance on home turf, 3-0, your final. Coach Sullivan mentioned to me recently how just proud he is of the way his team handles their business, their camaraderie, a lot of the sort of intangibles with this team. He's mentioned he's been proud of them. A specific point he made was how they are with the crowd, and you saw them coming to their sideline there, all eyes up in the stands, clapping for the fans, appreciative of the support. A real nice crowd for this championship game here at the Community Sports Complex tonight. You heard the noise throughout, more water jugs being spilled on Coach Sullivan, Coach Kapizdik. And just moments away, a trophy celebration to be had by Flower City Union. Coach Sullivan right there. He is, you know, it's a hot night. That is mostly not sweat. I think he's in store for maybe one more, or somebody is. Team taking the field. Congrats on a campaign to be proud of if you are Ambassadors FC. First year at NPSL, getting to this stage of the season. Some talented kids out there. Good luck to any of them on their way to college seasons. And Coach Sullivan, I think, is about to take one more bath, courtesy of some youth players in the crowd today. And there it is. You hear the cheers from the crowd. I'm going to let Dan take this one, the voice from above.
Presents the 2025 National Premier Soccer League Great Lakes Conference Championship Trophy to your Flower City Union. And with the win, your Union advanced to the regional playoffs. And with having a high enough seed, they're going to bypass the regional semifinal.
So you're hearing Dan explain the regional final will be here in 1 week. Stay plugged in to social media. Stay plugged in to wherever you get information on Flower City. And if you have been watching this at home, wherever you are, if you are in Ohio, if you are in upstate New York, downstate New York, if you were in Pennsylvania, if you were in jolly old England, wherever you have watched this, we thank you Congrats to Flower City Union on a 2025 Great Lakes Conference Championship. Thank you to Yaya to my right in the command center. Can't see, can't hear, can't experience any of this without his expertise. I am Bill Smith from the terrace. One last time, Flower City Union brings home the trophy. 3-0 the victors tonight at the Rochester Community Sports Complex. They have one championship. Let's see about the regional 1 week. Fans, you have been watching the NPSL.